So in this first example, when we're adding negative 8/3 plus 5/6, just like when we're adding positive fractions, the very first thing we need to do is find the common denominator. And so the least common multiple of 3 and 6 is going to be 6. And so we want to rewrite both fractions to have a denominator of 6. And so to multiply from 3, to get from 3 to 6, we need to multiply by 2. What you do to the denominator, you need to do to the numerator. And so we're going to multiply our numerator also by 2. And since it's negative, I'm going to write negative 16 here. And then 5/6 already had a denominator of 6, so we can just keep it the same. Now that we have a common denominator, it's like we're adding negative 16 plus 5, and that's going to be negative 11. And then once again, we keep our denominator of 6. So our final answer will be negative 11/6. Now, and this is a completely different problem. If instead of adding negative 8/3 plus positive 5/6, we were adding negative 8/3 plus negative 5/6, the entire process would be the same. I'm going to keep the same fraction here that we had converted to. Here it would be instead like we're adding negative 16 plus negative 5. And so negative 16 plus negative 5 is going to be negative 21. And then once again, we keep our denominator of 6. And so our answer would be negative 21/6. Now we can convert both of these numbers to these improper fractions to mixed numbers. But in terms of your homework and your tests and your quizzes and everything, an improper fraction is fine. I actually prefer an improper fraction. I'm just going to show it so you know how to do it. So here we just completely ignore that it's negative, and 11/6 is what we're looking at. 6 would go into 11 once with a remainder of 5. And so 11/6 would be the same as 1 and 5/6. And since it's negative, we just make it negative. But you don't need to do this. I'm just showing you so that you see it. But once again, on your homework, please just leave it like this. For this one, it'll be a similar thing. 6 would go into 21 3 times, and there would be a remainder of 3, because 3 times 6 would be 18. There would be a remainder of 3, and then it would be negative because the fraction was negative. The improper fraction was negative. And then we would never leave an answer as 3/6. We would always simplify that to 1/2. So this would be equivalent to negative 3.5. But once again, in your homework and classwork and quizzes and tests, you can just leave it as an improper fraction. Oh wait, but this one, we couldn't leave it like this because this is not in simplest form. So we would need to, not to do this, but we would need to say that 21 and 6 have a common factor of 3, and that it would simplify to negative 7/2. And once again, negative 7/2 is also equal to negative 3.5. But negative 7/2 would be the form that you should leave your answer in.